Hello everyone, welcome back to our new video. In this video, we are going to create our own password manager app where we can store and save our passwords, export the list of the password and import it again whenever we want. So it will be a useful tool for you and it will be a useful tool to learn something new in JavaScript as well. So we'll be using JavaScript. Let me make it HTML. I don't need PHP here. Okay, so let's get started. Let's start with HTML. We call it password manager app. We will need to include some of the CDN links here because I will be using Bootstrap and jQuery. So let me include those things here. You can download these files and use it locally as well. But for the development purpose or for the tutorial purpose, I prefer using CDN links. Okay, now I can start with the HTML. So let me create a container class. And let me give it a max width also. Style max width could be somewhere around 800 px. It will have a card in it. This is Bootstrap class. And card also has card header followed by card body. Looks good. And inside card header, I will use h5 which says the same thing, password manager app. Let's see how it looks. Nice. So what I want next is maybe I'll add some class here. Deflex, align items center, justify content between, because I'll be adding more elements inside it. So I have to add more elements here. Let me wrap it with div because it's deflex. So I want to maintain the properties of deflex. So what I want here is I want an input file. Input type equals file so that I can import the file. Password file so I'll call it an ID of file input which accepts just the .pwd files, and it will have a class of dnone because I'll hide it for now. Users won't be able to see it. I'll trigger it with a button instead. So button class is equals to btn small, btn light, maybe margin end 2 because I need another button after it, open. And sorry, this is for the open button is for import while save button is for export. I don't need me here, that's margin end, and id would be open file, id would be save file. Great, let's see. Yeah, so I'll be adding custom css later on, but let me finish with the html first. So let me create a form here with an ID of entry form, class of maybe row, gutter of 2 and margin bottom 4. This should be fine. And inside form, I will create some col here, col md3, 3, 4. And finally 2. 3, 3, 6, 10, 12. Okay, it's fine because Bootstrap has total of 12 columns. I will create input type equals text with class equals form control. ID would be title and placeholder title required. Fine, let's see. Yeah, we have the ready input box for the title. Now I need the same thing for username as well. I will call it username. Placeholder would be username. Fine. Okay. And for password, also what I will need to do, type equals password. This will be password. This will be placeholder will also be password. Yeah, nice. Okay, so for the last call, what I can do, I will need a submit button. So let me create a button which will say add password, and it will have not the div button will have class of btn primary with 100. Maybe class would be enough, and I need to make it type equals submit so that the form will get submitted on clicking it. Yeah, this is good. Now let me do one thing. I need to show and hide password with a simple button here, right? So what I will do, I'll create a input group, right? And inside input group, I will place this password input, and also I'll make a button here. Button type equals button. This is not a submit button at all. It will have class of btn outline secondary. Let me correct the spelling. Okay, and I will also give it an ID of toggle password. All right. So I need to write something here. Let's see, I have so height, but I need to use some icon here. So I have the icon here. I'm going to use this icon. As you know, I have already provided the source code. You can copy this icon from the link provided in description. See, it looks good, right? But we'll add more custom CSS to it later on. So we are ready with the form. Yes, we are. Now we need to show the list of passwords, right? So after the form is completed, I'll create a div called table responsive, because I'll be using table here. So let me create a table, class equals table, table hover, margin button 0. I'll use t head inside it. It will have tr with th, the table header. Okay, what I need to show? I need to show title, username, password, and then actions. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Now, after t head, I will need t body, and I won't have anything here because I'll be populating every password using JavaScript. So it will be empty for now. Cool. So I think we are done with the HTML part. Now I need to add some custom CSS to make it look really cool. Okay. So where do we start? We start from the body tag, right? Body. I will give it a mean height of 100 widths so that it covers the entire screen. And let me add background color to it. So I'll use linear gradient here with 120 degree probably. Let me go with this color code 84FAB0 0% followed by 8FD 8FD 3F4. This will be 100%. Let's see how it looks. Not bad. This is a good combination. Now I will also provide some padding to it. 2 rem on the one side, well, 0 on the other. I just need padding in top and down section. This is good. Now I can move on to the card. So I don't need border none. Nice. And border radius would be 16 px. Box shadow 0, 12 px, 24 px with the color 000 and opacity of not 1, 0.1. Okay, not bad. And I can also use background color here. Let me go with RGBA 255, 255, 255. This is white color with an opacity of 0.95. Okay. Now let me go to card header. So I will once again use some background here. And it will also be a linear gradient with 120 degree. Color code might be different. So 2B5876 0% followed by 4E4376. 100%. This should be corrected. Okay. Now I need to change more things here. Maybe color should be white. Border radius could be 16px. 16px 0 and 0. Let's see how it looks. I just want border on two sides. Okay, maybe because card header has default border radius provided by Bootstrap. So let me do import into it to override. Yeah, this perfect. I just wanted border radius in two sides. Cool. Maybe I need some padding. Padding 1.25 rem. This is looking nice. Now let's move on to the form elements. Or do we do it for the button? Okay, let's do it for the button first. So what's the class here? Let me see. It is for BTN light. Okay. So for BTN light, what we can do, we can use background of white, border none, and box shadow 0, 2px, 6px, RGBA with opacity of probably 0.08. Let's see. Okay, not bad. Then what I can do is I need to add some hover effect to it. BTN light hover. Let's do one thing. Transform it. Translate by -2px. Let's see. Okay, not bad. Then also change the box shadow here. So make it a bigger box shadow, maybe 4px, 12px with color not 0.08, maybe 0.2. Yeah, so that it looks like it is currently being hovered on. Okay. What next? After button light, let's move on to the form control. Okay, the form control is the text box. So for the form control, border would be 2px solid with EE F2 F7. Border radius would be 10px. Padding would be somewhere around 0.6 rem and 1 rem. Okay, looking nice. And what more? Let's add a focus event to it. Form control focus. Whenever the cursor is currently in that element, I'll change the border color to border color, not collapse. Border color could be maybe 4E4376. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, this looks amazing. Now, what next? Maybe I can change the box shadow as well. 000 3px RGBA. Let's do it a random color. I don't know how it looks, but let me try with this one. Opacity of probably 1.5. Okay, not bad. Actually, it's really good. Okay, what I can do here is, what if I do outline none? Because it was, getting outside of the box. Okay, this isn't good. So after this one, let me go to the button so that every button will get the same properties. What can be the same properties? Maybe border radius and padding can be the same properties. 0.6 rem, 1.2 rem. Okay. I will only change the background color. That's fine. Okay. Because I'm using the hover effect here, I need to make it smooth. So I'll use transition all 0.3 seconds. Yeah, this is smooth now. I'll add for this one as well later on. But let me go through it one by one. So for the button primary, this is the add button. I'll change the background. Or I don't need to change the background. What I'll do border none. Okay. And for this hover effect, what I need to do is I need to translate it the same way I did for the previous button. Not the border, but the transform. Yeah. Oh, what I can do, I can only translate in Y direction. This looks better now. Yeah, perfect. And what next? Maybe I can change the box shadow as well. Let me go with this same one. Does it look good? I think it does. Not bad. Okay, I should be done with this. Now, what I need to do, I need to focus to the table, I guess, because this thing is done. Okay, let me go through this input group. So for the input group, not input group, button from the input group, what I will do, I will add some border 2px solid with EE F2 F7. Yeah, for this one. And background could be white. I have not done the functionality yet, but this is fine for me. Okay. Now what I need to do, I need to design the table. So for the table, I need to add some rows here first. So let me add some static rows so that I can design it properly, right? Let me create a TR, that is a table row, and it will have TD with title. This is the title. Next one would be username. Similarly, next one would be password. So for the password, I need to provide couple of options to copy it and to show it. So I will have two buttons here. So before that, let me create input group again so that I can apply the same CSS here. Input type equals password. I don't need a name here because it's read only, because I don't need to change it from here. It's just for the design. So what I can add, class equals form control read only, and I need to populate the value, right? So value would be something like this, password. But because it's type equals to password, I cannot see it. That's fine. That's why I need button here. Button which says show password, and I'm gonna use this icon for this one, and it will say btn outline secondary and toggle password, something like this. Type equals button. Let's see. Okay, this is what I wanted, and I also want to add another button to copy it. So for copy, I'm going to use this icon. You can use anything you want. You can use just text, or you can use some libraries like font awesome icons or even bootstrap icons. It doesn't matter. Okay, and this will not have toggle password. It will say copy password. The ID would be copy, not ID. Let's go with the class itself because I'm using class here. Copy password. Okay, this is good. And for the actions column, I will have one action, that is delete button. It will have class of btn danger, delete entry, something like this, and we are good to go. Let's see. Yeah, what I can do, I can easily copy and replicate this row so that it looks good. Okay, now I can start designing the table. Let's add some more CSS here. Let's start with the table itself. So for the table, uh, just set the margin to 0. For table th header, background would be different, f8, fa, fc. Let's see how it looks. Okay, slightly dim and it's fine for me. Font weight could be 600. Color could be something on the darker side, maybe 2b 5876. Yeah, it's some shade of blue, not bad. And padding of 1 rem. Great, okay. Now after ts, let's move on to td. Table td. Padding of 1 rem and vertical align middle. Now getting better. For the td hover, let's add the hover effect to td. Oh, not td, maybe tr. That could be better one. So table tr hover. Just change the background color. F8, FA, FC to the same color that I used in table header. I don't think it's working. Maybe because I have used the hover, table hover here. I can remove that. Why is it not working? Maybe I can remove this one and continue with table hover. That wasn't bad at all. Okay, this isn't bad. Now, let me, what's remaining now? Let me design for this button. Okay, so for the BT endangered, which is the delete button, border none, and maybe I can use a smaller button. Where is the delete button? Here it is, ATN small. Okay, let's go with this one. So we are almost done with the design section CSS as well. Now we just need to make it functional. So what we are going to do, we are going to start our JavaScript section. Let's go into it. Because I have already included jQuery in my web page, so I can start writing jQuery. Let me capture the document ready event, document.ready function. So I will have passwords to empty at first. Okay. And what I can do here is let's start with the file. Okay, but before starting the file, let's start with the add button, right? So what is the name of this button? It is, oh, I didn't have any name. Let me provide some name to it. So for this button, let me find the button first. Okay, maybe I don't need a button because there is a form, right? So what I can do, I can capture the form submit event, right? Okay, what I can do is it's entry form dot submit function. I'll test the event so that I can prevent the default behavior and the page doesn't get refreshed. This is good. Now let me grab the values now. So I'll call it const entry equals to an object with ID. I can use date for ID, date dot now dot to string. Title, it will be on title dot value. Similarly, username would be $username dot value. Similarly, password password would be password dot value. Cool. Now I can add these two passwords, this global password, right? Let me call it passwords, not password. So what I can do, passwords dot push this current entry, and then reset the form, this dot reset. What I can do before, okay, let's see. Yeah, this is reset now and it's added to the passwords list as well. Now I'll create a function which I will say render password list, something like this, and it will render all the passwords. So I need to make this function now, function render password list. So I have the list, so I will grab the element first, that is the password list. Do I have it? Yeah, here it is. This is the body. Yeah, correct. So I will have grab this one, and what I will do, I will empty it first because I'll be appending everything. So whenever I add something, I need it to write here. I'll make this empty first and then append everything afterwards. So I have the list of password in passwords dot map. Maybe let's go with for each entry, for the single entry. So the row would be, let me go this way, right? This should be fine. Now I can create the HTML here. So I already have the HTML, which is this tr. I can cut it. I don't want it there. I need it to be empty for at first and then paste it over here, right? So let me make it dynamic now. We just need to make the values dynamic. So title would be dollar entry dot title. I just need one bracket. That's fine. For username, it will be username. Similarly, for password, it will be password. Great. What next? Maybe I will need some reference to the entry here. Let me go with the attribute data ID would be the ID of the entry. Great. And oh, I pasted 2 times. I don't need it 2 times. This is okay. And finally, what I can do, list dot append the current row. Let's see now. Title would be something, username AA, password would be something, add. See, it's dynamically added here. Okay, not bad. We're getting good now. Now what I can do, I can create the functions for this thing, delete, add is done, and open and save. So let's start doing that. Let me finish this function and then call something like password list. This is the password list, right? Password list toggle. So I need to bind it, right? So what I can do, dot on click toggle password function. I guess you have understood what I mean by binding, because if I say toggle password on click, it won't work because it will be appended by jQuery after the page is loaded. So I need to call it in proper way. I'll get the input value with dollar this dot previous input dot attribute type. Let's change it to input dot attribute type equals if it is password, then make it text, else make it password. So this should work fine. I need to refresh every time. So yeah, nice. This is working perfect. This one is for the toggle password. Now I can add for the copy password. For the copy password, on click, not toggle password, but copy password button. I will get the value. This is good. And I will change the attribute to text, whatever it was before. I don't care. And I'll input dot select document dot execute command copy, and again change the type back to password or whatever it was before. See, let's see. This is added. I think it should be copied. No, it is not. Let's see why not. Is there any error? I copied it, but when I try to paste it over here, it's not working. Let's see why is it not working. I can do one thing. I can alert input. It's an object. All right. That is good. Input is an object. No worries in there. Input dot attribute text because I want to select it. I selected it. Document dot execute command copy. Oh, this dot previous is maybe this is the wrong. I need to do this dot previous put. So now it should work fine. I think that's copied now. If I try to paste it here, yeah, now it's working. Great. So copy is also working. Toggle is also working. What about this toggle? It's still not working. We will make it work no matter what. Now let me do with the delete button. So I can copy the same thing here. Password list, on click, delete, entry. I need a confirmation box here. If confirm, delete this entry. If user confirms, then only I would delete it. I'll get the ID first because I need to delete it by ID. That's why I kept it as a reference in the attribute data ID. And password, I'm going to filter it with this ID. Passwords dot filter filter p with p dot id is not equals to id. Then again render passwords list. This should be fine. Let's see. I can add multiple passwords even if I delete one. Oh, there's some issue again. Let's see. I don't have any error, but the passwords is not working. Let's see. Passwords is not defined. This is weird. Oh no, why is it passwords not defined? No, it's defined. Let's see. I can add password. I can add more password. It's working. If I delete this one, it's not working. But there is no error also. This is interesting. Let's see what am I missing here. Okay. What I can do, I can render it at first also, but this is not the issue right now. Let's see if I'm missing something here. On click of delete entry, what is the ID that I'm getting? Alert ID. It should alert me some ID for sure. Delete this entry. Yeah, this is the ID. That's fine. If I say passwords, there's steals that password. So this line, there's something problem with this line. So let's see. Filter password with p.id is not equals to id. I don't know what's missing here. Let me try it this way. So I can save the ID to this one. ID equals, it's a string. Yeah. Oh, no. Now the password is empty, right? It's working from here, but it's not working from here. Maybe because of the data type. Could be an issue. Yeah, it was the data type issue. Maybe this was not string. If that was the case, I can add another equals here. Yeah, it's working now. Okay, we are done with the delete thing also. Now what's remaining? Let's see. We are done with the form entry. Now we move on to these things, right? So also we are remaining to do this feature to toggle the password. Let's do with the toggle password. So toggle password on click function. I can use it directly because it is not getting appended by jQuery. It is there from the initial page load. So I'll get the password element with $password. Now I just need to change the attribute. pwd.attribute type equals if pwd.attribute type is equals to, if it is currently password, then change it to text. If it is not, then change it to password. Should be fine. Let's see. Great. This is perfect. Now let's go for the save file option. So for the save file dot click function, let's get the content first. So content equals json dot stringify. I'm making it in JSON string. Stringify passwords null 2. Const blob equals, because I need to download a file, so I'll be using blob with content, and the type would be application slash JSON. This should be fine. Let's see. And I'll create a URL now. URL equals URL dot create object URL from the blob. Now I need to create the download link button. So I'll create document dot create element with a tag, and the href would be the URL that we just created now. The download, name of the download file would be passwords.pwd, and we will trigger the click action over there, and URL dot revoke object URL, because after downloading we don't need that URL. Let's see if it works. I can add maybe this one would be Gmail if I'm storing password of my Gmail account. Maybe let's try this at the rate gmail.com would be the username. Password would be something random. Let's add it. Let's save it. Yeah, great. It's saving. Perfect. Now I need to make the import option, right? So for the import option, I'll once again create something. Whenever I click on this button, I need to select the file. So I need to trigger the file select input. Open file dot click. Then let me use arrow function here. File input dot click. Great. Let's see if I select it. Yeah, it gives me the file select box. Now I need to select the file. So after I select the file, what happens is file input dot change function. Whenever I change this file selection, I'll grab this event and do my stuff here. So I'll get the file first. File equals e dot target dot files, the first file. If there is no file, then return without doing anything. But if there is a file, create a reader, new file reader on load equals function event. I'll try to parse it. So passwords would be json.parse e.target.result, and then render password list, because I have all the passwords here now. But if it fails by any means, then I will catch the error and I can console.log or even alert error parsing file, or I can say invalid file format. Okay, then reader dot read as text, because I have not yet read the file. These all are after the reading is completed. So read as text. This is a text file. The file is this one. Nice. We should be good to go now. So let me see. Open. I may have some file here. Okay, let me use this one. See, I have the ready. Let me add one more thing. Okay, maybe for Twitter, I have the username of, let's try this. And I may have password something like this. I can see it. I can close it. Let's add it. Perfect. Save it with ABC, and then I can refresh it. It's gone now. Now I can recover that with this file. Oh, why is it invalid? Let's see. Console.log e.target is out. Let's see. Open. ABC. Invalid. There's empty. Why is that empty? Maybe there is problem in saving the file. Okay, it's not password, it's passwords. I had a typo there. Let's see. Okay, I need to save it once again. Let me open this previous one. Yeah, now let me add, if it is Gmail, let me add of Instagram. Username, let's try this. Password is something random. I can see it and hide it. Let's add it and then save it as passwords 2. I can refresh it. It's already gone now. I can recover it with passwords 2. See, Instagram. I can see it. I can copy it and paste it in another tab. Great. So guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This much for today. Please subscribe us for more interesting and useful videos like this, and you can always comment in our comment section with any queries you have or any special tools you want to make and you need help on that. I'm ready to help you guys. So this much for today. Please subscribe us for some other videos like this. Cheers guys.